Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny. I just came from meeting up with my brother, and we just had an amazing time together. Such a nice time. I spent a few hours with my brother. I've always been close with my brother growing up, but meeting up, we reunited because we've had some time apart. I've been going through changes over the course of the last 2 years. I've kind of shared it with some of my students, some of you guys who follow me. So I've gone through a transformation, a personal transformation, so it's been lovely reuniting with my family. I spent time yesterday with my dad, it was lovely. And yeah, me and my dad we are rebuilding our relationship back. We didn't have much of a relationship growing up. I was scared of my dad. A lot of my anxieties came from the fact that I felt uncomfortable around my dad. I felt judged, and there was always this kind of barrier. And you know, he was a lot to blame for that, because he was very strict on me physically. But also there were some things, you know, I played a part in it as well. I wasn't fully honest. I was never honest. I was scared. I wasn't speaking up. Wasn't being myself. So it's just one of those things. It happens in families. And I've forgiven my dad now. I love him very much. And yeah, it's been amazing. My social anxiety has gone as a result of me fixing the relationship with myself first, and then going and fixing it with my dad, reuniting with my mum. I would say deepening our relationship, because there were some things that I didn't feel were very honest with me and my mum. It's quite hurtful, but amazing to sort that out. And speaking to my brother today, it was so emotional, so emotional. I could easily cry, and it was emotional for so many reasons. And this is why I wanted to share it with you. I didn't just want to rant in a video. I wanted to make a video. I wanted to share my story, because I know that my story is the story of many people. So I don't know if I wrote the title down just to remind me. So this is going to be social anxiety and love. I may not finish this video in one take. I might have to break this down into parts. I don't want to rush. Sometimes when I do the YouTube videos, I feel a sense of urgency. I feel like I'm rushing to get out what I'm going to say. I know a lot of people who watch the videos, people want the video done quick. People don't like spending a lot of time, but I'm not going to do it in that way. It doesn't feel right sometimes. If I start rushing, I do a 5-minute video. Okay, I get the message across, but I end up missing out. I can't get everything in 5 minutes. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's not honest. It's me trying to cram things in. I feel like I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. And I need to kind of process this and get it out, because I've been going through it. So I had this really deep conversation with my brother. My brother's, I wouldn't say he's as spiritual as I am. But then to some extent that's not true, because when I had a conversation I realised that he's very spiritual. Then I realised that we're all spiritual. It's just a label, it's just the context of what that word means. The same as when we use the word God, or when we use the word love. When I'm basically speaking about being spiritual and I'm saying spirituality, I'm really just using another word for love and happiness. That's what it comes down to, the core essence of being spiritual, at least how I've understood it. Now certainly the spirituality that I'm taking to and practicing. So when I say I believe in God, which I do, I believe in love, I believe in kindness, and I believe in living an honest life. I believe that from when I was born, that was innate in me. Of course, we're human, we make mistakes. I had lots of insecurities, which is how my social anxiety come around. And it's interesting because, as I said, me and my brother, we always had a really good relationship, but it's got even better now. Today it went to another level. And that's because I've changed. That's because I've made the changes in myself. That's not to sound arrogant. I'm saying, oh, because I changed, I'm better, my brother's better. But it literally has that illusion, it's real. My brother probably feels more comfortable with me. The honesty was just, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And I have this sometimes when I work with people, because when we are so honest with one another, and we're not hiding, or we're not saying stuff just to kind of fill in time, it is a beautiful experience, but it's very tiring, because it's a rich energy. I've had the same conversation with Jeff. When I worked with Jeff, I used to be knackered working with Jeff. Amazing, I love it. You have such a great time, because he's so honest, Jeff. He's so straight. He's got such good energy. You can't, if you're not used to having these sort of conversations, if you're not used to being transparent with people and honest and open, it's quite tiring, and I'm still getting used to this. It's been 2 years for me now. So me and my brother talked about loads of things. I was about to say I wish I had it on camera, and I don't, because that was private, but I need to share this because it's just profound. It was incredible what we spoke about, and we covered many things around that, you know, typical things boys talk about: boys, women, friendships. But all we were speaking about was love and honesty, and we spoke a bit about social anxiety. And my brother said to me, you know, growing up, Johnny, I could see that you were quite nervous. I could see that, you know, when my friends came round, you looked a little bit anxious, although you were confident. And my brother basically was very straight with me and said he could tell that I was very insecure growing up, as we all are, you know, as we all are, some to more extremes than other. I was very insecure. My brother could see that, and the reason my brother could see that, because he knew my true self. So of course, people close to you are going to notice how you change your behaviour according to the situation, the social pressure, and there's more people around. And he's right, I wasn't congruent back then, and that's what caused me so much pain and suffering. And this is really what my whole channel was about, my whole teaching. And I recognised that this one social problem was affecting every area of my life. And the social problem is feeling that you're not good enough, having low self-esteem, feeling that no one loves you. And of course, when you do that, the unconscious takes over. This is when it gets dangerous. Social anxiety is formed out of a lack of, or the perception of, that you're not lovable and other people don't like you. So you orchestrate, and you don't even know you're doing this on a conscious level, you orchestrate separate personalities that you feel will be accepted by other people, and they will therefore give you love. But of course, I've said it before, this is my own experience. You can't trick love. You can't cheat love. You can't manipulate love. You can't fake love. Love is, like Tolly says, it's an allowing. And we all have it in us. When I used to hear that, I used to think, oh yeah, right, we all have it in us. I'm poor, I'm struggling. I'm in a violent, hostile environment, and you're telling me I've got love in me. Yeah, okay. But it's true, it's in us. But the reason most of us, if we're struggling from social anxiety, low self-esteem, paranoia, struggling to trust people, struggling to open up, feeling judged, it's because it's blocked. And that self-love, that self-esteem, that self-confidence, if you want to use that the name, that is blocked by dishonest behaviour. So lots of people, again, will say, I'm not a dishonest person. I believe in honesty. I'm spiritual. I believe in God, I believe in doing right or wrong, but people are not living it. Lots of people are not living it. I see this when I work with lots of men, first session, because of course people generally will bring their ego when you first meet someone. Not everyone, but most people. Of course I'm guilty of this, we all do it. You're meeting their ego. Then when you get to know the truth, so say, oh, I love this guy, he was really lovely. How many times have we said that? We had a problem with someone and we didn't like them. We might spend some time saying, you know what? That person was really lovely. Yeah, I can't believe it. I didn't expect him to be like that. Sometimes it happens, a bully at school. Many times when I got bullied at school, life puts you into another situation where you've got to interact with each other. It's happened to me so many times. And then you have to drop the facade, because the social pressure will not allow the manipulation and the games and the wearing the mask. So me and my brother were speaking about this, and of course we weren't wearing a mask, we wasn't playing games. The air changes, the air is different. And again, Jeff has said this before, and I've had these conversations with Jeff, I've had these conversations with quite a few students. The air is different when people are honest. You can feel it, there's a presence. And I was saying to my brother, because I said to my brother, I'm not going to force my teaching on you. I don't force it on anyone, because my brother, he's never asked me. But I didn't need to force it, because my brother is interested in the same thing as me, and he was teaching me stuff. We had a great conversation. But then I thought, okay, let's just do away for a second. Let's not even say spirituality for a second. Okay, let's not say God. Let's just talk about love. Who doesn't want love? We all want love. That's why some of us are really happy with ourselves. When we feel love, we feel self-esteem. Lots of us are at war with ourselves. We don't feel love, even though we achieve things. We've got women, we've got sex, we've got money, we're drinking alcohol, we're going to nice places. You won't feel love properly if you don't know who you are and you're not being yourself in your life, and you keep changing according to the social situations. And I was doing this for many years, and I was saying to my brother, don't think because my brother's very happy about my change. I've really changed. It freaked my mum out a bit. My mum was quite shocked. She thought there was something wrong with me. But my brother said, no, he said, you're nothing wrong with you, you're just happier, you're more relaxed. I'm so happy to see that your social anxiety's gone. He's like, oh, this is the brother that I always knew when we were younger. I was like, it was so nice. So it makes sense. It makes sense, all the things I spoke about. It makes sense why I was so drawn to Jeff's work, because it spoke that, something I was struggle with the self. And me and my brothers were talking about women. And I said to my brother, isn't it funny, because my brother's about in his late 20s now, so isn't it funny when we first grow up, we see, we perceive that nice guys finish last, whatever, the stereotype of nice guy, and bad boys get the girls. And for a while that has some truth in it, you see it in school. But things change as you leave. And this is me not judging anyone, this is my own account of myself being all these different characters, because I was insecure at that time. But as you leave school, you realise that, the nice guy who maybe didn't get the girl goes on to marry a beautiful woman and have amazing business because he's a good person. And sometimes the bad boys end up dead, end up in prison, end up in mental asylums, and sometimes they change. And you're looking at one now, you're looking at a person that changed, thank God, through the help of God and the help of me really being brave and working on myself and refusing to let this social anxiety beat me. So I've said to my brother, I just got to a stage, Carl, where I couldn't play games no more. I couldn't wear a mask with mum and dad, with the family. I got sick of being different in my relationships with women, and this was all unconsciously at the cost of me thinking people won't give me love if I'm not my true self. And of course it's the complete opposite. And I was also saying to my brother that it's quite challenging, this transformation, because it's very easy to then start judging other people. I'm working on it myself, because when you change and you become honest, you notice straight away. You notice straight away when people are playing games. And me and my brother, we went really honest, and I even said, I seen these flaws in myself that I changed and I got rid of. And these flaws are in us all. We all like to think that we're not manipulative, or we don't cheat, or we don't steal, or we don't trick people, but we all do it, or we've all done it. I don't do it because I'm aware of it. But of course, those temptations are in me. They're in all men. It says it in the Bible. We already know this. There's good and bad in everyone. These classic sayings have got so much truth. So it's about being aware. It's having the awareness. That's what I said. I see the spiritual teachings of what I teach, what Jeff is teaching, what Eckhart Tolle, what any other teacher is teaching, Jesus. It's psychology. It's just the name you use it. So in psychology, they'd say he needs to have more emotional control, more self-control. In spirituality, they'd say he needs to develop better awareness, or he needs to, strengthen his observer, the watcher, as Tolle says. It's the same thing, just a different language. So this is something I had to work on myself, and that's why it's actually nice to say I know who I am and I like myself and I am myself. And my brother noticed the difference in me straight away. He said, yeah, you seem more secure. You're not making loads of jokes. Before you made lots of jokes, kind of hide your awkwardness. You show off quite a lot. And I like his honesty. And he said, but you was always a good person. And I said to my brother, everyone is a good person deep down. There's not a person on this earth, man or woman, who's not good deep down. It's just whether people take to that person and practice it. And again, this is what I see with a lot of people I work with in my 6 weeks program and teach. We know everything, but we don't apply it. Like my brother said, we're not silly as human beings. And the interesting thing is, when we wear a mask and we play these games, we know we're doing it. That's what's so hurtful, but also exciting as well. And I started to notice this a few years ago when I was going out doing a lot of the day game, doing pickup. I could tell that women were manipulating me with sex. That women were also doing it. I was attracting dishonest people because I was wearing a mask. And that's why I've got such a great relationship with my brother, because we never did those tricks on one another. For one, I couldn't do that on my brother, because it'd give me a good bashing. And but I had this relationship with my dad, and I love my dad, and we don't have it no more, where you're kind of manipulating one another. Not even through words. Manipulating someone could be through presence, intimidating someone, making them feel uncomfortable. So this is when you start really realizing what love is about. And I said the same to my brother. I said, it's not common, is it, that men speak about love? We've been talking about love for 4 hours, but it's exactly what Jeff said. It's not soft love. It's totally true what he said, and he helped me. He was a great teacher. He's my mentor. It is muscular love. It's not some soppy love. It is the in-depth, heartfelt love for how you love your mum and your dad. Even if you're angry at your mum and dad, because I was angry at my dad for a long time, but that's because I loved him. We were angry towards people because we feel hurt, we feel love. If we didn't love them, you probably wouldn't feel that angry towards them. And now all the angers came out. So I suppose in doing this video, just wanted to share that, what a great connection. And I have this connection now with everyone, because I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not playing these sneaky little games of trying to put people down and use tricks. The general games that we're taught, and it's not even people's taught, Freudian slip. Because lots of us, especially from my background, we're taught this in the household. Our parents are taught this. We're taught to manipulate one another to get love out of each other, to use tricks, to use flattery, all these kind of sub-personalities that are not our true self. And of course, when you stop doing this, you get this naturally. It makes sense. Same with business. Lots of people do it. I don't do that stuff. Trying to manipulate people, trying to use suggestive words, tricks. I don't do that. I don't take part in that. It's not how I run business. I don't treat anyone like that. I used to do all this stuff because I believed that I wasn't good enough. And I was doing it unconscious. When it came to the conscious, it's just horrifying to see yourself like that, because you know that's not you. And when you are like this, it's amazing. You get more anyway. You get more of the stuff that you were trying to manipulate. And this is I would say this is a human problem. So I know I've gone deep here, but I like going deep. And it was just nice, man. It was just really nice to connect with my brother. And yeah, seeing my dad yesterday, gave my dad a hug. We hugged. We haven't hugged in 15 years. I was crying. I was in tears. And if that's being soft, this is my own voice. If that's not being a man, even my brother said. He said to me, he said, "You've always been courageous, Johnny." He said, "I've always looked up to you. You've been nervous, but you've always been brave. You've always stood up to fear. You've always did." I said, "Yeah, I've just." And my brother said something great. He said, "It's mad in a way, because," he said, "because Dad kind of bullied you a bit, but Dad helped you." I said, "I know he did." He said, "Dad helped you, he made you strong, but in the right way, in the wrong way, but the right way." Of course, because my dad taught me a lot about violence at that time, but he taught me about love. And it's interesting again, the same, I had this conversation with Jeff, I think it was on our second session. I won't go into every personal detail, but you can get the gist of it. I was struggling, I was upset with my dad about what happened. It was affecting my life, despite being successful. And Jeff said, "Your dad is your best teacher. He's your teacher. He's a better teacher than I am." And I understood it. It was hard at the time, because emotionally you're hurt, you're angry at the person, and you feel, but that's forgiveness. I've made many mistakes myself. I've had to recognise that. And it seems that my dad's changed now. It seems so much nicer, and that's what happens. So people that write to me and say, and we all do it, this person's cheating me, this person's doing it, it's always coming from ourselves. And I've had to learn this. I learned this mainly from Jeff. And it's also spending time with Jeff, and then me going back into my past and saying, "Oh God," when I had the awakening, I can't believe how I was treating people. I was bullying that guy, I hit that guy, I was manipulative to that woman. It's not a nice way to live. And that's what Jesus' teaching was about. That's what Muhammad's teaching was about, or Allah's teaching. That's what Buddha's teaching was about. It was about love. There's nothing soft about it at all. Everyone wants it, all of us, me included. We all have it. We don't even need it. We don't even need to try and get it outside. But it is difficult. It is difficult if you're in the place where I was at, where logically you can say, yeah, it's all about love. but you don't feel it. You're scared, you're frightened. And it is frightening. I was scared to make this change. You know, because you're worried that people are going to think you've gone mad. You're worried that your friends, your family, you know. My mum, my brother's really happy with my change, because I think it's not as much as a shock, but my mum she's really taken back, so I've had to, I love my mum. Part of me doing this video is unconsciously saying a prayer for my mum. I don't want my mum to worry about me, because she's not used to her son being confident and calm and relaxed and not panicking and stuttering. And but she'll get used to it over time. And again, this correlates with a lot of my students that will say to me, there's always fears, we're always frightened what our family will think, but if we change and we become loving, believe me, your family will welcome you with open arms. It might be a struggle at the start, because change does bring, people do react, but realistically, who can challenge an honest man? Who can criticize a man who lives with integrity and is a man full of love? Not a perfect man, but an honest man. And of course, when you're honest and you're congruent, and which I am, you do make mistakes. You do make mistakes like every other human being does, but you make less mistakes and you are aware of your behaviors, so you can address them quicker. You can learn. You don't make them in the first place. If you do, you apologize. You own it. Where when you're asleep spiritually, psychologically, or you're wearing a mask and you're putting out all these personalities to get you through your life, we've all done it. I know all the tricks, because I lived like that and I survived. We be a bully, we indulge in maybe paying for prostitutes, or we cheat on our girlfriends. And of course, I've said it before, this is, women do it as well. I was saying to my brother, because me and my brother were both talking about our previous girlfriends, previous girlfriends. One, he was, you know, I won't go into too much detail, but we were just saying that, you know, the relationships, you know, they weren't honest. And this is what happens with a lot of men, myself included, but not no longer. I won't be manipulated by anyone, by a woman, by a man, by amount of money, flattery. It just can't happen. I'm too intelligent, I'm too awake, too sharp. And this is what I'm doing, helping people on the YouTube channel. And this is what social confidence is about. It's not just being a confident person or faking it, it's being socially aware and treating people with respect. And that's what makes me proud about my work. It's got a lot more depth. It's not, you know, it's not, you're not just teaching people how to be confident speaking to women. That's a small man's thinking. You're helping people to develop these beautiful relationships with everyone. And it all starts with yourself, and then it goes in with the family. What could be more important than having a great relationship with our family is something I've learned over this coming years. And what woman is not going to be attracted to a man who is congruent, honest, kind, and secure in himself? And the whole perception of what it is to be a man is completely spun on its head for me. And I knew this deep down, and my brother was saying it. My brother, we know everything. I know when you're watching the video now, you're probably saying, I knew this, I sensed this, because we're human beings. We're born fine, but we get corrupted with the schooling, the conditioning, the experiences. But it's still okay. I was saying to my brother, it's, you know, it's being mindful and not judging people when they're not in that place. I'm just making an observation. But it's this is an epidemic. It's going around all around the world. It's a big struggle. It's a small struggle, but it's a big one. And it can be fixed. I've done it. And it only takes people fixing themselves, which is what most people don't want to do. They want to blame everyone, blame society, blame this organisation, blame that religion. But we have to start on ourselves, obviously, and then we can start thinking about changing stuff. So it's been amazing. The video is another video about overcoming social anxiety, love, family. I want to do more videos about this because it's a deep topic, and explain, just to make you aware of your own behaviours. Because honestly, guys, for many years I wasn't aware I was doing it. You wouldn't be aware when it's on the unconscious. So this is what I'm doing on my 6 weeks program. It's really helping men to identify who they truly are and to live an honest life. And in doing that, in fixing that relationship with yourself, that gives you the courage to behave that way with other people. And I always say to people, when people say, well, if I'm too nice and too loving, people are going to take advantage of me, but it doesn't happen. Because if you're probably like myself, if you're watching this, if you came from quite a physical background where you were fighting because you got bullied, you had to come from that sort of environment, you channel this energy into a different type of strength, love. With words, you can defend yourself by being straight with people, being kind. You don't need to use physical violence. People